It's December 31, 2025, day 365. The final countdown has begun, and what's brewing for January will make this winter completely unforgettable. Here's what nobody's warning you about. A temperature reversal so extreme, it'll swing 15 to 25 degrees above normal across half the country. But there's a critical detail at minute 4 that flips everything upside down. Right now, at this very moment, a dangerous situation is unfolding across the Ohio Valley. The next 90 minutes could determine whether you make it home safely or spend New Year's Eve stranded on frozen pavement. Intense snow squalls are organizing. These aren't normal flurries. We're talking explosive convective snowbursts, whiteout ambush conditions. Pennsylvania, Western New York, Northern Ohio, you're directly in the path. Picture this, a razor-sharp squall line forming over Chicago around 5 p.m. Central Time. A solid wall of white advancing at highway speed. Visibility plummets from 10 miles to 100 feet in under 90 seconds. That's how fast this hits. Fort Wayne gets hammered next. Then southwestern Detroit. Cleveland and Fort Wayne face what meteorologists call thundersnow conditions, 5 to 10 minutes of the most intense snowfall you'll see all season. 2 to 3 inches per hour. Blizzard-level snow compressed into minutes. Columbus gets slammed right at midnight. Perfect timing to trap New Year's Eve travelers. Pittsburgh, same story. Indianapolis sits on the rain-snow line, the most dangerous setup. Liquid hits pavement that's rapidly cooling. Black ice develops within 30 minutes. Invisible. Deadly. But here's what caught everyone off guard. This system doesn't fade away. The energy pushes into Charleston, West Virginia by 4 to 5 a.m., then merges with Atlantic moisture. When two systems combine, they intensify dramatically. Cape Cod, Boston, coastal Maine, you're getting accumulating snow. 6 to 10 inches possible in the heaviest bands hitting extreme eastern areas. Now here's the real story for the next 72 hours. The Great Lakes Lake Effect Snow Machine is about to absolutely bury certain areas under multiple feet of fresh powder. South of Buffalo, some spots are staring down 23 inches of additional snow. That's on top of existing snowpack, nearly 2 feet of fresh accumulation by Saturday morning. Other areas 14 inches south of Buffalo suburbs, 13 inches west of Toronto, 3 to 4 inches in western Michigan, 8 more inches in northern lower Michigan. Upper Peninsula Michigan gets over a foot, possibly 15 inches. Now, let's talk about the cold snap hitting tomorrow morning, because this is where things get serious for your health and safety. Milwaukee hits 0 degrees Fahrenheit. North of Madison, 0. Minneapolis, 0 or below. Northern Minnesota, -5 as the raw temperature. Before wind chill calculation, factor in the wind and we're looking at -20 or colder. That's the threshold where exposed skin develops frostbite in under 10 minutes. This is critical for anyone with sinus issues. These extreme temperature swings, the rapid pressure changes, trigger massive sinus headaches and infections. If you're prone to sinus problems, the next 72 hours will be brutal. Start using saline rinses now. Stay hydrated. Consider antihistamines preventatively. Lexington, Kentucky drops to 30 degrees tomorrow morning. St. Louis, Indianapolis, Columbus, all hitting 15 degrees. Any moisture from tonight freezes solid. That thin glaze of black ice that you can't see until you're already sliding. Now, here's the strange twist nobody predicted. While 2/3 of America freezes, the western third experiences the complete opposite. Pacific moisture flooding California, not gentle rain, atmospheric river moisture. Thunderstorms developing over Los Angeles, legitimate rotating thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes. The intensity ramps up dramatically tonight through Friday. Burn scar areas face 2 to 4 inches of rain. On scorched soil with 0 absorption capacity, that equals inevitable debris flows. Evacuations already underway. Tomorrow, supercell thunderstorms move through greater Los Angeles. Remember Christmas Day? A legitimate tornado touchdown. Now we're looking at another possible on New Year's Day. The Rose Parade faces incredibly wet, potentially dangerous conditions. These storms pack 50 to 60 mile per hour straight line winds. Widespread power outages likely. And here's what makes it worse. Soil is already saturated from Christmas. Trees uproot easier when root systems are waterlogged. Now let me show you the pattern evolution dominating January. This is where understanding the big picture helps you prepare properly. After tonight's flash freeze, we undergo a massive pattern flip. The entire continental flow reverses, but this warm-up doesn't start until approximately January 5th. Several more days of brutal cold first. This warm-up will melt significant snowpack, especially around the Great Lakes where we're measuring in feet. Then look what happens after January 8th. Model guidance shows trough after trough diving from Canada, cold air trying to win, warm air fighting back. That atmospheric battle generates powerful storm systems. And here's what frustrates so many people about modern winters. You want cold, you get warmth. You want warmth, you get Arctic blasts. This bipolar weather pattern is the new normal. Temperature swings of 30 to 40 degrees in 24 hours. Your body can't adjust. Your sinuses revolt. Your heating bills go crazy. Why is this happening? The jet stream is becoming more amplified. More extreme north-south waves instead of smooth west-to-east flow. This creates wild temperature swings and unpredictable precipitation patterns. For ski resorts struggling without snow, for farmers needing proper winter dormancy, for anyone depending on seasonal consistency, this pattern is a nightmare. And unfortunately, it's not changing immediately. Now, let's get specific about what this means for different regions, because your local situation determines your preparation needs. If you're in Central Florida and you saw 31 degrees this morning, that's abnormally cold for your infrastructure. Your pipes aren't insulated for this. Your plants aren't hardened. The warm-up provides relief, getting you back above 50 degrees within days. Southern Oklahoma, northern Texas, plain sea. You're exhausted by late December heat. Still running air conditioning some days. This isn't normal winter. This pattern brings more volatility, not the stable cold you're hoping for. Unfortunately, late January is your next window for real winter. Salt Lake City experiencing warmest winter on record. Ski resorts are struggling. You desperately need sustained cold and snow. This initial warm-up delays it further. However, late January models hint at a possible pattern change. Not guaranteed, but there's hope. Northern Idaho, Spokane area, you've barely had any legitimate winter days. Wildlife patterns are disrupted. Agriculture depends on proper dormancy periods. This isn't normal. The pattern needs correction. For the Midwest, dealing with roller coaster conditions, warming up, raining, turning to snow, flash freezing, then repeating every 24 to 48 hours, this is exhausting. It's hard on your body, hard on infrastructure, hard on everything. The only solution is preparation and flexibility. Here's practical guidance based on atmospheric science, not just forecasting. For tonight's travel across the Ohio Valley, extreme caution. That squall line is exceptionally dangerous. If you encounter sudden whiteout conditions, do not stop on the roadway. Get completely off the road if possible. Multi-vehicle pileups happen when people stop in travel lanes. For extreme cold exposure, -20 wind chills are life-threatening. Frostbite develops on exposed skin in under 10 minutes. Hypothermia becomes a risk in under 30 minutes. Dress in layers. Cover all exposed skin. Check on elderly neighbors and anyone living alone. For livestock and outdoor animals, they need extra protection. Water sources can't freeze. Animals can't survive without water access. Shelter from wind is critical. Bedding needs to be deep and dry. For California evacuation zones, if you've received orders, take them seriously. Debris flows move faster than you can run. They develop with almost no warning. They carry boulders, trees, vehicles. Have a go bag prepared. Know your evacuation routes. Don't wait until the last minute. For power outage preparation, charge all devices now. Have flashlights ready. Stock batteries. If you have medical equipment requiring power, ensure backup solutions. 50 to 60 mile-per-hour gusts in California will snap power lines. Lake-effect snow regions can lose power from heavy, wet snow on lines. For the Great Lakes Snowbelt, If you're in persistent lake effect zones, prepare for feet of snow, not inches. Some locations could see 3 feet total by Saturday. Stock food, water, medications for at least 72 hours. Once lake effect bans establish, roads become impassable quickly. The localized nature of lake effect means you could have 2 feet while your neighbor 3 miles away has 2 inches. The bans are that narrow and intense. Snow removal equipment should be serviced and ready. Have backup heating plans if power fails. Now, here's the educational component that helps you understand why this is happening. The Climate Prediction Center's 6 to 10 day outlook shows a massive upper-level ridge building over the Central Plains. This high-pressure dome at jet stream level forces the polar jet northward. That allows warm air to surge from the Gulf of Mexico and desert Southwest. This pushes temperatures 15 to 25 degrees above normal from the Rio Grande Valley to the Nebraska Sandhills, from the Wasatch Range to the Appalachian Highlands. But this pattern doesn't fully materialize until January 5th. Between now and then, Arctic air continues draining southward east of the Rockies. That's why the extreme cold persists through this weekend. The GFS model, the Global Forecast System, shows multiple distinct storm systems queuing up after January 8th. We're looking at potential for severe weather outbreaks in the south. Ice storms across transition zones where warm air overruns surface cold. Major snow events possible for the Midwest and Great Lakes. The volatility index is off the charts. This isn't subtle weather. This is high-impact, attention-demanding pattern evolution. Understanding the technical setup helps you anticipate what's coming. When you see an upper-level ridge building, you know warmth is coming. When you see troughs diving from Canada, you know cold air and storm potential are increasing. The Old Farmer's Almanac long-range forecast supports this volatile pattern. They're predicting the Northeast sees very cold conditions early January with northern snow, then milder mid-month, then temperature swings late month. That's the roller coaster pattern. The Southeast gets very cold early, then showers and milder weather, then potential for northern snow late in the 3rd week. Florida stays cooler than normal with scattered showers mid to late month. The Heartland expects cold with flurries early, sunny but chilly, then milder mid-month, then stormy late January starting with a potential snowstorm before turning sunny but frigid. Texas and Oklahoma get sunny conditions north with showers south early on, then a cold rainy stretch, followed by warmer, sunnier weather mid-month. This represents a fundamental pattern flip. Flash freeze tonight. Significant warm-up next week. Then highly active volatile January. Now let's talk about why coastal lows aren't forming into big snowmakers like they used to. This is a question many longtime residents ask. Where are the classic nor'easters? The pattern has shifted more meridional, meaning more north-south flow instead of west to east. This reduces coastal low development and intensification. Instead, we're seeing more interior systems and persistent lake effect. The jet stream configuration has changed. Climate patterns are evolving. That doesn't mean no more big coastal storms, it means they're less frequent. When they do develop, they can still be powerful. But the reliable pattern of coastal intensification has weakened. For the Great Lakes, you might wonder why they're not frozen yet despite the cold. Water temperature is still too warm. The Great Lakes hold tremendous heat capacity. It takes sustained, deep cold to freeze them. We haven't had enough continuous Arctic air yet. Once they do start freezing, lake effect snow production actually decreases because the moisture source gets cut off. That's why early winter often produces the heaviest lake effect, open water with cold air masses passing over. Now, here's what you need to know about the short-term forecast beyond this immediate system. The pattern shows a quieter stretch after this system clears. No major storms to track for the first week of January. That's legitimately good news. Enjoy the warm-up when it arrives. Temperatures moderate significantly, but January 8 through 31 shapes up exceptionally active. Multiple storm systems appear likely. Above normal precipitation for many areas. Whether that falls as rain, ice, or snow depends entirely on temperatures at the time. For those hoping for snow in areas that haven't seen it, 3rd week of January shows the most promise. The pattern could support winter weather farther south than typical. Not guaranteed, but the atmospheric setup becomes more favorable. For those tired of snow and cold, the warm-up provides relief. Mid-January looks notably milder across large sections of the country. Enjoy it while it lasts because late January could turn stormy again. This pattern flip is real and significant. Flash freeze tonight. Major warm-up initiating around January 5th. Then a volatile, active January with multiple impactful systems. The key is intelligent preparation without panic. Understanding the forecast allows informed decisions. Monitor local forecasts from multiple sources. Have multiple ways to receive weather warnings. NOAA Weather Radio remains the most reliable for overnight warnings. For tonight specifically, if you're traveling, leave extra time. Expect delays. Conditions deteriorate rapidly when that squall line hits. Know the timing for your specific area and plan accordingly. Tomorrow's hard freeze creates hazardous conditions that persist even after precipitation ends. Road treatments become less effective below 15 degrees. Salt doesn't melt ice efficiently in extreme cold. Sand provides traction but doesn't actually melt anything. For the California situation, heavy rain doesn't automatically mean disaster. It means heightened awareness. Know your specific risk based on elevation and proximity to burn scars. Have situational awareness. Don't ignore evacuation orders. The month ahead brings significant change. Temperature swings. Active weather. Multiple systems. But knowledge is power. Understanding what's coming, why it's happening, and how to prepare makes all the difference. For those dealing with health impacts from weather volatility, sinus issues, joint pain, headaches, this pattern is particularly challenging. The rapid pressure changes and temperature swings trigger genuine physical responses. Stay hydrated. Maintain consistent indoor temperatures. Consider anti-inflammatory support. This isn't just weather sensitivity, it's real physiological response to atmospheric changes. For parents with children who have respiratory issues, asthma, bronchitis, croup, these rapid temperature and humidity swings are triggers. Have rescue medications ready. Monitor symptoms closely. The transition from extreme cold to relative warmth and back creates ideal conditions for respiratory flare-ups. For elderly individuals and anyone with cardiovascular concerns, extreme cold constricts blood vessels and increases heart attack risk. The physical effort of snow shoveling in sub-zero conditions is genuinely dangerous. If you must clear snow, take frequent breaks. Stay warm, watch for warning signs. This isn't fear-mongering. This is practical health guidance based on atmospheric conditions and human physiology. Now, let's address the frustration many feel about unpredictable, bipolar winter weather. Why can't we just have a normal winter anymore? The honest answer is complex. Jet stream patterns are becoming more amplified. Arctic warming affects polar vortex stability. Ocean temperature patterns influence continental weather. All these factors create more extreme swings instead of steady seasonal progression. This doesn't mean winter is disappearing. It means winter is becoming more volatile. More temperature extremes in both directions. More rapid transitions. Less predictable day-to-day, even as seasonal patterns become clearer. For agriculture, this is challenging. Crops and livestock need consistent seasonal patterns. Freeze-thaw cycles damage plants. Extreme swings stress animals. The solution is adaptive management. More flexible planning, more resilient varieties, better infrastructure. For water management, these patterns create issues. Too much rain at once causes flooding but doesn't replenish groundwater effectively. Snow that melts rapidly creates runoff instead of slow infiltration. Reservoirs fill quickly but also drain faster. Understanding these broader patterns helps make sense of individual weather events. Each storm, each cold snap, each warm-up is part of larger atmospheric evolution. So what's the bottom line for the next 30 days? Immediate forecast: dangerous travel tonight across the Ohio Valley. Extreme cold tomorrow morning, multiple feet of snow for Great Lakes snowbelts, high-impact rain and wind for Southern California. Week 1, January. Quieter pattern develops. Major warm-up initiates around January 5th. Snowpack melts. Temperatures moderate significantly. Week 2 through 4, January. Active volatile pattern, multiple storm systems, temperature swings, above normal precipitation, winter weather, possible farther south than typical in third week. Your specific preparation depends on your location. Great Lakes region. Prepare for persistent snow and cold. Southeast. Prepare for temperature swings and potential for winter weather third week. West. Prepare for continued Pacific moisture but moderating temperatures. Southwest. Prepare for active weather continuing into mid-month. The pattern is complex but understandable. The volatility is challenging but manageable with proper preparation. Stay informed through multiple reliable sources. Have emergency supplies ready. Know your local hazards. Understand evacuation routes if applicable. Check on vulnerable neighbors. Protect outdoor animals. Maintain heating systems. Keep vehicles winterized. This is the reality of modern winter weather. More extreme, more volatile, less predictable day to day, but still forecastable in broader patterns. Knowledge remains your most powerful tool. Understanding atmospheric dynamics, recognizing pattern evolution, anticipating local impacts, preparing appropriately. The month ahead will test preparation and resilience, but it's entirely manageable with proper information and planning. Stay safe, stay informed, stay prepared.